When you see something, act, do something, don't look away. My name is Wendy Pakeur. I'm the founder and coordinator of Ubuntu Rural Women and Youth Movement. We are based in the outskirts of Stellenbosch, but as an organization we operate in 3 provinces of South Africa, which is Western, Northern and Eastern Cape. As Ubuntu Rural Women and Youth Movement, we have a gender-based violence community response program. So what we do is we have programs on the ground, keep an eye on the child, keep an eye on elder, keep an eye on people with different abilities. So we look out for the most vulnerable people in the community. So when we find children who are supposed to be at school who are not at school, children that are neglected, abandoned, children that suffer violence in the home, abuse, their substance abuse, we bring the social workers in, we work with the families to see what we can do to assist them. We make sure that the rights of the child is protected, because we find that most violence happen in the home. The perpetrators are often people known to you, and that is why we have women that's been trained that do that work on the ground. The same with women with different abilities and also elderly people. We find in communities people get beaten for their SASSA money because the child or the grandchild might be on drugs. And it's to report those matters and to make sure that the families or those that are impacted, the survivors, are safe and that their matters are attended to. We support women with protection orders. We do court support. We will help to complete the forms. We will go to court with them. There's a couple of intimate femicide cases that we are working with, where we support the families of the victims who passed on, where we make sure they have psychosocial support. We go to every court case. We ran petitions to oppose bail. We meet with the chief magistrates and prosecutors to make sure there are justice for these cases. So it's a more holistic approach. We don't only go to court and just do the bail application. We make sure the families are fine. When there's a loss of income, we make sure these families are taken care of. They have access to food and their basic needs are met. What can we as women, NGOs and organizations do to eradicate violence against women? There are so much that we can do. As part of our GBV awareness work, we had a pamphlet targeting men and speaking to men as role models, because we often found that there's a lack of male role models in communities where we want men to stand up to kind of show who they are as men, as gentlemen, and to show other men there's a different way in dealing with women or working with women and children in our communities. And then to change the face of gender-based violence, where we have a lot of men that are against GBV. And I think that is what we want to see more out there, where men speak out against it and work together with women's organizations like ours, Colors Foundation, Women's Legal Center, and many others, so that we can collectively tackle the issue of gender-based violence. The faith community, for instance, if you look at people that belong, when you look at different faiths, whether it's Buddhist, Christianity, Islam, doesn't matter. Millions of people belongs to different faith communities. The faith communities can play a role by not only preaching religion or convert from the pulpit, but to speak about respect to women, to speak about how men should treat women, to tackle gender-based violence in these faith communities, to tackle inequality and power issues, and where men sometimes think they are superior to women. These things should be taught in faith communities as well. I'm just thinking of the role of schools, where from young ages we need to teach boys how to play with girls, and they shouldn't even touch a girl or pull her hair or touch her in an inappropriate way, because when we start young, you're going to have a much better adult and a different male, because he's going to be taught to be respectful to a little girl and to respect boundaries. Now, you can't teach that when men are already adults. Sometimes it do make a difference, but we need to speak young. In our school curriculum, We need to bring these issues into the school curriculum and teach both boys and girls around power issues and equality issues and so forth.